What's up, epicseven here with another epicseven video. So before I get started, I would just like to thank everyone that has watched my videos so far. It really does mean a lot to me that there's people out there who enjoy my content. If all of you could smash that like button and hit subscribe, that would also mean a lot to me, so thank you everyone. Now onto the video. I had a few requests for a Zahhak showcase and review, so I thought I'd give him a try with a slightly different format. I'm going to start with an overview of his skills and if I like his design, his aesthetics, his S3 animations, etc. And then I'm going to go through a build guide, how I think he should be built, recommended stats to aim for, different sets to use. And after I've showed some clips I've collected, I will summarise on whether I think he's a good unit, must build, or someone who can just be on the bench until you've got some spare time and resources. His character design is really strong. Like I said before, I think the design team are really killing it lately. Myself and my Discord loved his S3 animation and aesthetics so much, we actually genuinely believed he was going to be a limited unit. And although I do kind of think he looks like a thief, his model is really clean. He does give off that high ranking official vibe, so really good, kudos to him on that. His skills, his S3 anyway, attacks the enemy, inflicting injuries before granting the caster invincibility for 1 turn. Increase hit chance and critical hit chance by 50% when attacking. The severity of injuries increases proportional to the damage dealt. Injuries decrease max health of the target by up to 35% every time this skill is used. So the big thing they did with him here was they gave him the 50% hit and crit chance with this skill. What the 50% hit chance means for him is he essentially negates the chance to miss on fire units, and it also assists in not missing on evasion based units, but we won't mention any names there. He also inflicts injury and does grant the invincibility, which allows him to weaken a unit if they're not killed, and it reduces the chance of him being killed after he's landed his S3, so keeps him around a bit longer. His S2 dispels 2 debuffs from an ally and the caster before granting a barrier for 2 turns. Increase combat readiness of the caster by 50%. The barrier strength increases proportional to the target's max health. Interesting. His S2 really is part of his kit that I don't particularly like. I understand Smilegate didn't want to go overboard with him, give him extra turns and more damage and break him too much. And I think in the couple of weeks I've been running him in Arena, I probably used this skill once, maybe twice. It could have a bigger impact in longer drawn out RTA battles, but I didn't get much use out of it. His S1 attacks the enemy with a longsword, increases critical hit chance by 50% when attacking. Damage dealt increases when the target is buffed. So his S1, they gave him the crit chance, but they didn't give him the hit chance. And I feel this does hurt him quite a bit because, as I found out a lot, every time I got silenced by AOL Angelica in Arena, which was very common, he no longer had that reach to deal with the evasion units and hit fire element units. They did make the skill hit like a truck though, seriously, it hits hard. He gains 30% increased damage on this skill if the target is buffed. And as you'll see in some of the gameplay clips later, he does hit some pretty high numbers. In terms of his build, the 50% crit chance on his S3 and S1 really do make him a whole lot easier to gear. On his stat page, you'll only have to get him to 50% crit chance, and he is in essence crit capped at that point. It definitely does allow you to pump some more stats into his speed, attack and crit damage, as well as provide maybe a little bit of bulk that he probably otherwise wouldn't be able to get. As you can see, I decided to go with speed and pen set on him. Having to forget a whole 50% crit on both of his damage skills, it really does scream penetration on him, as well as both of them being single target. I have seen some arguments for him to be built a bit more bruiserish to keep him around and make more use of his S1, but I never really got around to testing it. As you can see with my stat allocation, I tried to go as fast as possible and keep his attack and crit damage high, and then he has a little bit of health in there, but not really anything that screams bruiser. The artifact I feel he needs is Symbol of Unity. It gives him the extra 20% hit chance, which means Violet cannot evade him essentially without any external increases to his evasion. So Violet with Moonlight Dreamblade will not be able to evade his S3, but just bear in mind that if you ever see Violet teamed up with Assassin Cartuja, Violet will actually have a 5% chance to dodge this S3. So I'll let you guys watch the gameplay footage and I'll conclude after if I think he's worth the gear and molar investment. Thank you. Enjoyed that footage there. As you saw from the gameplay, he can hit some pretty high numbers, his S1 especially. There were a few instances I included him being able to one-shot Violet straight through FCC shield, straight through Aureus. That alone just makes him a pretty good unit in my books. So my overall review of Zahhak is he is really a fun unit to use. The fact that Violet has been an oppressive unit for a while now and he basically just deletes him in most circumstances with an S3 is really satisfying. I think he is worth taking the time to build, but just be aware, the higher you do go into arena with him, the harder he does become to use. He doesn't have a lot of answers to many of the other top pick units or meta defense teams, but if you're still a newer player or a mid-game player, I think you'll definitely get a lot of mileage out of him, especially because he is so much easier to gear than many of the other single target DPS units that we have right now. So that's the end of the video. Thank you all for watching. I'd love to know what all your opinions are on Zahhak if you pulled him. Let me know in the comments what you like best about him. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and leave a like on the video. Secret Sinner out.